Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the newly revamped Ink and Entropy podcast, formerly known as the Liminal Ledger. Now, for today's episode, we're going to go over what happened to me this past weekend. I want to talk a little bit about this past weekend. So not Easter weekend, but the weekend prior. So the weekend prior to Easter, which would have been April 3rd through the 4th, or it might even been the weekend before that. So it would have been the weekend before that. I was in Roanoke, Virginia Western Community College, where I was the representative of Virginia Peninsula Community College as their poet laureate. So a few months prior to this, I performed and competed against other students at Virginia Peninsula Community College to become the poet laureate of 2026 through 2028 for Virginia Peninsula Community College. The winner of this competition would then go on to be the representative for that college at the state level against all 23 community colleges in the Commonwealth of Virginia, or VCCS, the Virginia Commonwealth Community College School System. I won at the VPCC level, traveled to Roanoke, Virginia, and I competed against all 23 colleges. There was a lot of really talented and amazing poets there. And this was one of those moments in a writer's life that almost feels impossible to narrate. But during that weekend in Roanoke, one of those moments became real. And I am honored and was honored and still am honored that in the 2026 VCCS I Dream Poet Laureate competition, what began as a campus honor became something much larger. It was a chance for me to stand on a statewide stage, share my work, speak about why poetry matters, and advocate for the kind of literary community I believe students and everyone as a whole deserves. And somehow, beautifully and seemingly impossibly, I won. As of that date, I am officially the 2026 VCCS I Dream Poet Laureate. Now, I Dream was just the theme for that event. We had to create a poem on that theme. So the official title is the inaugural 2026 Poet Laureate of VCCS. Even now, it still feels surreal. The trip to Roanoke was about much more than the final announcement. On Friday, when I arrived, I sat before a panel of 5 judges and I spoke about my awareness project, Atmosphere Lab, Freeform Narrative Poetry, a workshop-centered initiative which is built around making poetry more accessible, exploratory, and alive for students who may not yet realize poetry already belongs to them. I spoke about poetry not as something distant or elite, but as a practical art of voice, reflection, and human connection. Simply put, a way for everyone to express their emotions, to build empathy, and to connect with others in a way they never thought possible. That conversation alone was deeply meaningful. But then came Saturday, standing on the stage and reading my poem, The Frequency That Looks Back. I felt something rare settle over that room. It was a strange electric stillness that happens when a poem fully arrives where it's supposed to land. It was one of those performances for me where the world narrows to a breath line, silence, and the next word. The kind of moment, honestly, every poet hopes for. So when they announced my name as the winner, I genuinely needed a second for reality to catch up. I've never won anything in my life besides winning the gift of being alive. So my breath was truly taken away, not because I didn't believe in the poem, or not even because I didn't prepare, but because there was still something so astonishing about hearing that my work was called forward in a room full of brilliant artists and poets and realizing that my voice resonated, that my strange little frequency reached someone, that the dream I had looked back. Winning this title for me means more than just the trophy, though I am absolutely cherishing that too. And for those watching the video version, it's a pretty cool trophy. I mean, it looks like it's like blowed glass. I like it a lot. It's cool. But On top of that, it feels like a confirmation that the kind of poetry that I care about most, atmosphere heavy, psychologically strange, emotionally resonant work that trusts in image and unease, can truly connect with people. And it also strengthens my commitment to the work ahead. As the poet laureate for the next 2 years, I get to continue advocating for student creativity, community writing spaces, and the idea that poetry should be welcoming without ever becoming shallow. That matters a lot to me. Anyone can write. I have said this a million times to the people close to me and to people online, but that matters deeply to me. Also, while there, I had a chance to connect and meet with the former 2024 Poet Laureate and the former Art Luminary winner, and the full panel of judges and organizers who made this event possible. Those moments of conversation, encouragement, and an artistic camaraderie, it's a tough word to pronounce, honestly, I apologize, were honestly just as meaningful as the award itself. It reminded me that literary communities are not only built through solitary writing, even though writing is a solitary craft, but through shared belief in the arts and the people willing to keep them alive. One of my favorite things about this weekend was realizing how many different forms of creativity took in the room, whether that be poetry, visual art, conversation, mentorship, performance. It all felt connected by the same underlying impulse to make meaning, to make beauty, to make something that outlives the moment it was born. That is what I want to keep building. This win is not an ending. If anything, it feels like an opening. To be fair, I'm already thinking about this title means to the larger body of my work, for my upcoming novella, The Lumen the Maw, and for the literary spaces that I want to keep creating both on and off campus. Whether that be more workshops, more poems, more strange frequencies, more worlds, more books, you name it. And yes, also probably a few sleepless nights chasing that next line and word. Now, to everyone listening, to everyone who has read my work, encouraged my experiments, supported the Substack, or supported me personally, or even simply believed in the strange places my writing likes to go, I want to thank you. I want to truly thank you. This one belongs not only to me, but to all of us. The dream did, in fact, dream back. Hey, everyone. So if you made it this far, I want to say thank you for finishing the podcast episode. I'm trying to do these more often and more frequently. So if you did enjoy it, please feel free to subscribe if this is something you're interested in. We'll be going over a wide variety of topics from horror to fiction, philosophy, psychology, all generally centered around horror as a whole. Also, we'll be looking forward to having on some guest hosts as well in the future. More news on that to come. But again, if you did enjoy, please give this video a like if you're watching it on YouTube, a like and a restack if you're watching it on Substack, a comment and a subscribe if you're listening to it on Substack. Otherwise, I will see you in the next episode. Hey everyone, join me next week as we talk about the importance of horror in fiction and storytelling.